as an engineer, it was particularly tempting to just do data engineering. Yes. So there were a few arguments why I thought maybe which stopped me from trying, and mainly I was worried. Am I a good salesperson enough? Am I good at sales? Like I know I can do tech, but um, when I need to find a new contract, negotiate maybe with clients, can I do it on my own? Then another thought I had, and also I heard it from some friends who did freelancing, that you have a lot of stress to deliver a project on time, and you have a hard deadline. And at the same time, this is your deadline to find the next project.
Yeah.
So you're not just it's not just that you need to find the next project, which is stressful enough, but you also need to do it while delivering the existing one. So this was like a bit terrifying.
Yeah.
And the maybe last one is maybe I live too long in Germany, but oh, it's not safe. Like permanent employment with a solid company, unlimited contract in Germany is a safe thing. Now we kind of realized in tech, it's not. Like times where you could easily find a job as a developer, like in 2 weeks are over. And now I think being a fractional technical leader or just a freelance engineer, developer, and working maybe for multiple clients at the same time on a part-time basis is actually I believe it's more sustainable model, and also it's just more safe. So this is one thing, and then I'm still relatively new in my independent contractor role, so maybe things will change, but till now I actually feel almost less worried about my job, and I feel I could make it the switch earlier, probably.
Why do you
Yes,
feel
but yeah.
less worried now, Ilya?
Um, well, it turns out that networking, I mean, I always liked networking. Like I went to events, round tables, but for me, it was more just curiosity how other people do it. Now, of course, you have a component of like you want to sell your product or your service, but it's not that bad actually. You can talk to people. You don't necessarily push them something they don't want, and also if you are good at some point, apparently people start recommending you, and like just you can generate leads through your previous clients. Mm, so I would say this whole sales part is not as terrible as I was expecting. And also, I don't know, maybe it's a mental thing. When I was working for a company, I was never afraid to openly say my opinion, even if it was against like my manager's opinion. But it was always kind of emotional. Like I'm part of this company and I'm telling them what you do is not right. With clients, of course, you also have like emotional contact with them, and if it's a long-running project, it's almost the same. But still, you are like, guys, what you are doing is not, in my opinion, not the best idea. I have another idea. If you insist on doing things your way, I can do it. Like I can help you, but I just don't advise you. So somehow I feel much more empowered to disagree when I'm not part of a company, because maybe even though it's much easier to let a freelancer go compared to an employee in Germany, but still, like somehow I don't feel worried about my job that much.
Yeah, no, I mean it makes sense. I mean, you're coming in as an SME, right? Like, you're not really a part of the company as such. You're just there to kind of deliver your project. So, I guess, it's
Yeah,
probably easier to
I
voice your
mean,
opinion as a contractor.
it is. It is. It definitely is. It's just if you are like a developer, it's even more easy. If you are offering yourself as a interim or fractional leader,
Mm.
you are still kind of part of the company. So it's a bit of a special
Yeah,
relationship, I would
right.
say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of, yeah, split between the two, isn't it? Well, you mentioned obviously sales and networking is obviously a huge part of being a contractor, when it comes to identifying new opportunities and, being to a certain degree, like, the best contractors are easily able to find their next role. And that, takes the pressure off if they've got an already established network in place. And, you know, your LinkedIn network, I know you mentioned in a previous post that you've been working on it, and we've all seen the amount of impressions that some of your posts have actually gained and the amount of traction they've gained. So like your LinkedIn has absolutely exploded recently, and it'd be great, for a lot of the people that are watching today, for us to kind of understand what's your actual philosophy behind creating a lot of the content that you create, and how do you go about balancing humor with authority on the other hand?
Yeah, Adam, I appreciate your kind words, and I appreciate you. I, I was really lucky to make a few successful posts recently. Just maybe to explain you where I'm coming from. Before I went freelance, network networking, or let's say before I went freelance, LinkedIn was just a social network for me. So it was there to connect with friends, colleagues, people I meet in conferences, meetups. That was nice to have this thing, and I read a lot of smart people. Um, Now after the switch, it's a sales channel. Yeah, it's a lead generation channel, and also it should be a proof that I have some expertise in this area. So I need to show like my expertise. So my network was already quite big and quite senior. I had like most of the people. I was actually very strict. I was normally connecting with people I know personally, or if there was a business reason. Yeah, so a vendor, a recruiter. Yeah, I rarely connected to people who I only know through LinkedIn. Now it changed, and I started to produce content, not because I want to monetize the content. I don't think I will go this path. There are a lot of brilliant people out there who do trainings or any kind of educational content on LinkedIn and monetize it, and I don't want to anyhow compete with them. I just believe it's a lot out there and just not needed. In my case, it's just my personal opinions, and grow. It's very nice to see the follower numbers growing or like a lot of likes. But apart from some dopamine I get from it and like my ego, it's not necessarily business. I mean, it's difficult to measure. I'm a data person, right? I'm
Right.
very interested in numbers. So, of course, I have all numbers about my LinkedIn, and I have a plan, and I have a lot of tools, and I automated everything. But yeah, and I got like to know a few people who actually offer like services in YouTube, services in LinkedIn, helping people to track content and
Yeah.
traction and advices. So there are some good tools out there. Um, Having said that, how do you define success? So I'm missing, you know, my maybe naive hope was I make a successful post, 10,000 people see it, and 20 ask me if I can do a project for them. It's not happening. Like till now, I didn't have a single person who said, "Oh, you made such a nice joke on LinkedIn. Do you want to go work for me?"
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Probably it doesn't work this way, or maybe I'm not good enough in jokes yet. But what I think is really happening, my network is growing. If people find me, or if I find some potential leads through other channels, they would probably go check my LinkedIn, and of course, having more activity there is always good.
Yeah.
Yes, and for me, it's a lot about like expressing myself, giving back to the community because it's not necessarily something I want to earn money with. About humor versus authority, I don't think I found the right balance yet. Obviously, controversial things where you picking somebody or some technology, of course, create a lot of interest. And also like pictures, memes, it's better than like long reads about technology. So nevertheless, I still write both because I'm interested in it and I actually do it for myself and try to stay authentic. If other people like it, I'm happy. If they don't, I would probably still do it for a while. If I don't feel like doing it, I will stop at some point or like reduce. But for now, I feel like it's a nice thing to do. And I'm pretty sure if I would set some hard goals for me and have some pressure to reach X followers or X views, it would be a very different feeling, yeah,
Yeah.
compared. So currently, I'm almost enjoying it. Did I
Well,
forget
it's
something
going really
important?
well. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
don't stop doing it because
S-
it makes me laugh every morning when I open up my laptop, like when I see something you
Thanks,
posted
thanks.
that's really funny. Like, you know, you post a lot of really good memes, but you also imbue them with a certain amount of, you know, that you take something away from everything. Like every single one of your posts, I was looking at it, you actually can take something away from that as well, on the flip side, which is really nice.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for that. I'm happy if people are interested. If you want to follow, follow, obviously. If you want to connect, it's also actually easy. Just write me a short note in a connection request. Who are you and why you want to connect? And that's mostly does the job.
Perfect, amazing. And look, I find some of your memes to be really funny, particularly some of the sort of AI generated ones, or all to do with data. But you know, talking about sort of AI, which is obviously a huge buzzword, huge topic at the moment. And you know, I thought it would be, you know, worthwhile talking about maybe a couple of things you mentioned in your posts as
Mhm.
well. So, you know, I know you recently attended HLTH Europe.
Mhm.
And you know, you were absolutely struck by, or you mentioned you were struck by how many grounded, serious people are applying AI to healthcare. So, you know, what I wanted to understand is what's your take on the real AI opportunities again versus the hype?
Mhm. Okay, great. So, I think let's start with the recruiting because I think it's like your area and
Yeah.
probably that's something we also discussed previously with you. I think it will shape recruiting. Obviously, it's already doing. We opened a position and we got 400 CVs in first hour, all like cloned, yeah, because everyone takes my job description, which I also generated with ChatGPT, and they just apply it to their CV and yeah. So. I feel almost CV screening might vanish at some point because if it's all AI generated and AI talking to AI, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But still, probably AI will be heavily used for sourcing, for initial interviews. I think technical or even cultural fit interviews can be done with AI, especially if you're a huge company and you have a lot of candidates and you just cannot afford talking to everyone. I also think nothing bad with using AI, obviously, for your CV or for fine-tuning your application. Just be mindful, like use it as a tool, not don't expect it to do everything for you. And I I guess it's my speculation, but I guess like within a few years, on-site interviews will make a huge comeback because more and more people, even in my small bubble, more and more people are cheating on interviews using AI, and it's very obvious. Like if you are reading from a second screen, just trust me, people who are interviewing you feel it and they see it. So it's like please don't. You can use AI, just yeah. I think it's obvious.
It's more
So
around the misuse of AI in a way, isn't
yeah, yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about like AI masks and hiring other people to do the interview for you. It happens already. So I know that there are services and virtual masks, and some companies are like asking people to do this hand before face thing.
Yeah, crazy time we're
It's
living in.
crazy. It's crazy. Yes. So I believe it's pretty possible that companies will just invite you for a day or two, fly you over, even across continents, so that you come to the office, they look at you, they do interviewing, maybe they go lunch with you or go like dinner, which is automatically like cultural fit thing. And then I also think companies should maybe pay for it if it's a few days on site,
Yeah.
but it should be just working better. But this is my assumption. So,
I mean, it's a
health, yeah,
logical one, right? That
yeah, yeah,
the probably the only way to battle against this is to increase the amount of face-to-face interactions, because
yeah,
really, how else are you meant to tell?
Yeah, yeah, because otherwise you are just you never know whom you are talking to. That's the problem. And healthcare and generally like data usage of AI, it's a very powerful tool. Everyone should really take time, understand it, and use it. If you're not leveraging it, you will be not competitive soon.
Yeah.
Do I think it will take away our jobs? I don't think so. I think like if you don't use it, if you don't know how to use it, it will be a competitive disadvantage. But all in all, it hopefully, I'm a like techno optimist. I think it will produce more jobs. There will be probably companies will be smaller, teams will be smaller, more things will be automated, but there will be more companies. So all in all, there will be still demand.
Oh,
And
interesting.
this is my like hope. And also, you can kick the things off easily. Even if as a non-technical founder, you can just do something with AI. It's very tempting, but as soon as it goes production and scales, you still need engineers, and these engineers should be better than your AI. So I believe if you have an engineer who actually can write code better than produced by ChatGPT, and then this person uses ChatGPT, then it's a perfect combo. If you have somebody who understands half of the code which ChatGPT spits out and just blindly puts it into production, it's a shortcut to security issues, API keys being published in public repositories, cloud costs exploding and all these things. So, and if you are in healthcare, it's a regulated industry. Like if you put code into
Yeah.
production which you don't understand, you can imagine what happens.
It's
So,
they're
mhm,
cracking down on it now as well because like more and more of these healthcare providers have invested a lot of money into AI, and now all of a sudden the regulators are quickly closing in, right?
exactly, exactly. And if you talk about like regulated industries or like let's say fintech or e-health,
Mm.
even before AI, people said fail fast. Yeah, one of the startup agile principles. You can't fail fast in healthcare. You fail and somebody dies. Yeah, so it's like not about failing fast. I'm sorry, but it's like this.
No, no.
Now imagine you work for aviation. Yeah, would you apply like fail fast and let's go production and then see
Yeah,
how
you're
it
absolutely right. Yeah.
performs? So even so, people are very excited about AI. On the conference, I was attending a session which was I believe it's called Oxford style debates between like two teams, and it was like, will AI completely replace doctors at some point? And some people were saying yes, and they also made this analogy that well, modern planes don't need pilots. Actually, they can start in London and land in New York without a pilot, and nobody would understand the difference. And then they asked for questions from the audience, and I could not keep myself from asking, as this person, would you personally like to fly to like London, New York, if you know there is nobody in the cockpit? Like,
Good question.
would you go into this plane? Because okay, maybe at some time, yes, but like today. So I guess AI is still an assistant. It's getting better. There are a lot of discussions if it can get better than us at some point because it's trained on what we produced. So
Mm.
can it really get better? Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion. And e-health, just maybe last comment is it's a regulated industry. I worked, for example, for a company. We had an app which was certified as a medical device. So you have a lot of due diligence processes and certification processes and quality management. Um, I see some issues with generative AI being not deterministic. So you run the same code twice and it actually produces two different outputs. How can you certify it as a medical device certification if you cannot guarantee what it gives you?
Yeah,
So I
fair point.
think you can, of course, use it for another take away from the conference was, well, doctors are overloaded in pretty much every European country these administrative tasks. So if AI could take over the whole bureaucracy and they could focus on medicine, it would be already a huge help. But where is the boundary? Like, if you let AI make some decision on bureaucracy side, which involves medical stuff and or ethical stuff, like how does it work?